Good morning, students. In this video, let us find the power of a sine signal or cos signal. This is very important for us because almost more than 3 times it was asked in the GATE previous papers. Depending upon the factor that what is the power of a sine signal or cos signal. How to find this power of sine signal? Let us see now. Power of sine or cos signals. First, let us recall the power formula for any signal. The power formula is limit capital T tending to infinity 1 by T and integration minus T by T2 plus T by 2 given signal x of t magnitude square dt. This is the formula for calculating the power. All periodic signals are power signals first. That means sine signal or cos signal is periodic signal. So that must be power signal. That is confirmed. Before calculating this power itself, we should verify that signal is whether it is a power signal or not. So it is periodic signal. That means it is a power signal. So for such periodic signals only this formula applied. Only in the sense here 1 by 2t minus t2 plus t also one formula is there. That is for non-periodic signals frequently we use. And same formula if we apply for the periodic signals, we can just slightly modify for our simplicity, that's it. That formula, this formula both will give the same value. But for periodic signals, we just take 1 by t because here t can be taken as a time period. Minus t by 2 plus t by 2 integration we can take. Right. So here I am taking first a sine omega t signal. X of t is a sine omega t. Then what is the power of this signal? A sine omega t. Let us calculate according to that formula. Power formula limit t tending to infinity 1 by t integration minus t by t2 plus t by 2 a sine omega t magnitude square dt. Right. Before proceeding, let us recall the trigonometric formula. Sine square theta is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 cos 2 theta, and cos square theta is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 cos 2 theta. Right. And sin n pi value is 0, we should remember. And omega is equal to 2 pi by t, or omega into t is equal to 2 pi. These are all helping formulas for this calculation. Fine. First let us simplify this one. Limit t tending to infinity 1 by t, here a square, so I am taking outside a square, and minus t by 2 plus t by 2. This is sine square omega t. I am using this formula. That means 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 cos 2 omega t we can write. Now we have two terms to simplify. First term, limit t tending to infinity a square by here 1 by 2, that also we can take it outside, 1 by 2t, and integration of a constant, that is t, with t running from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. Second term, minus limit t tending to infinity a square by t is there and 2 also there, a square by 2t common, and outside of the integration I have written, and then integration of cos 2 omega t is there. What is integral of cos 2 omega t means? That is sin 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. With respect to t we are integrating so that 2 omega constant. Here t value running from again minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. Let us substitute the limits. First here, limit t tending to infinity a square by 2t. Here t value t by 2 minus of minus t by 2 plus t by 2. That means t by 2 plus t by 2 is t. This t cancels. Simply this t and t by 2 plus t by 2 t cancels. So a square by 2 remaining here. and limit t tending to infinity. Here no t is there, so we no need to consider this limit in this term. Let us see the second term. What is this term is? Sin 2 omega t is there. Let us simplify that one also. Limit t tending to infinity a square by 4 omega t into sin 2 omega, upper limit it is t by 2 minus lower limit it is minus t by 2. Sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. So I am writing directly plus sin 2 omega t by 2. Here omega t, 2 cancels. Omega t from this equation it is 2 pi. That means here we are getting sin 2 pi. Here also we are getting sin 2 pi. Sin n pi value 0 we know. So sin 2 pi value 0, sin 2 pi value 0 means the second term totally it is 0. Only first term remaining. And what is that value means? A square by 2. So the power of a sinusoidal signal is nothing but its amplitude square divided by 2. That is the power of a sine signal sin omega t. Same procedure we can apply for a cos signal now. Let us consider a cos signal x of t. Now I am considering a cos omega t signal. This is a cos omega t. Now by using this power formula again, let us substitute x of t is equal to a cos omega t. That is limit t tending to infinity 1 by t minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 a square cos square omega t dt. Cos square omega t we can expand by using this approximation. So that limit t tending to infinity a square by t minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, and cos square is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 cos 2 theta. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 cos 2 theta, that is 2 omega t. If you observe this simplification with the previous example, here plus sign is there, here minus sign is there. That is the only difference. Remaining here 1 by 2, here 1 by 2 cos 2 omega t same. Observe, only plus and minus difference. So here plus or minus only difference. Obviously the second term is 0 means whether plus or minus, second term is 0, and first term is, if we simplify this one, obviously we should get a square by 2 finally. That means what is the power of a sin omega t is nothing but the power of a cos omega t. That is what the conclusion. And we should observe one more point here, it is the power of this signal a sin omega t or a cos omega t does not depend upon this omega t. It depends only on the amplitude of the signal like this. That is what the conclusion point we have to remember. And let us take one example, numerical with the numericals, which is repeatedly asking in the GATE examination. I'll show you now. I am considering one numerical example of power of sinusoidals. Example, x of t, if it is cos omega t plus 2 sin omega t plus cos 3 omega t plus sin 2 omega t, let's take some other value, 4 omega t minus some phase shift pi by 6. Some of them they are asking this phase shift also to calculate the power of sinusoidal signals, but we know that power of the sinusoidal signal depends only on the amplitude. It is not at all depending upon these phase shifts and frequencies. So only we need amplitudes. Here amplitude A1 is 1, amplitude A2 is 2, amplitude A3 is 1, and amplitude A4 is also 1. Right. So that the total power of this signal x of t, simply amplitude square divided by 2, A2 square by 2, A3 square by 2, A4 square by 2, and so on. So the power is simply 1 square by 2, 2 square by 2, 1 square by 2, 1 square by 2. We can easily simplify. This is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and finally 2. 3 by 2 plus 2, 7 by 2. Units for power watts. Like that, you can calculate the power of any sinusoidal signals, whether sine or cos, and whatever the phase it may be, whatever the frequency it may be, doesn't matter. Simply consider the amplitude, and amplitude square divided by 2 consider sum of all the powers equal to total power. Right? Very simple. Thank you.